today's video, what we're going to be talking about is, should you book in follow-up calls, follow-up meetings with leads who say, let me think about it, get back to you. Now, we've all been there where you have a prospect, you have a great chat with them, you uncover their wants, their needs, it's a good fit, and you know you can help them with exactly what they want help with or need. And you get to the end and you say the pricing, and they say, yeah, okay, cool. And you say, okay, would you like to move forward? And they say, well, let me think about it. I've got to sleep on it. I've got to speak to a partner. Let me get back to you at the end of the week, whatever it might be. Now, first and foremost, generally, it is an objection based on. There's a couple of ways you can attack this, and unfortunately, most people will attack this from the way that, or approach this from a way that will lose them, the client, lose them the sale. So we're talking about, you've got a lead, the person's perfect, they've told you what they want, they need help with, it's exactly what you do, you know you can change their life, and all you've got to do is move forward to actually change their life and get them to where you want to be. Now, first and foremost, you've got to ask yourself, and the way you need to approach this call, are you truly a coach? Do you truly want to help people, right? And if you ask yourself that question, and I hope most of you, if not all of you, answer, yes, I'm in this to actually help my clients, right? I really want to change their life. If someone comes to me and they have a problem and they tell me they want to change their life and they're hating where they're at, they need help with it, like, I hope that every single one of you want to actually help people and answer, yes, that is what I'm here to do. I want to change people's lives. Now, if you answer that, right, you need to, well, first and foremost, you need to go into the mindset of, hey, this call is getting on with someone, getting on and talking to someone that I can try and find if I can change their life, if they want to have the help. And then from there, my goal as a great coach is actually to change their life. Now, if you jump on calls and you're like, oh, it's just a sales call, you will approach it completely wrong, and you'll lose a lot of great clients that you could have helped and change their life, and of course, get to the levels where you want to. Now, if you go into the call with that mind frame, when you get to any objection, right? Now, first and foremost, I'm not talking about any call. If you speak to a prospect and you can't help them or they don't want the help, it's not a good fit, right? You should say, okay, cool, awesome meeting you. Thank you very much. If there's any way I can help you, let me know. And then you move on to another prospect, right? One that you can actually help. Now, and wants the help. But if you find someone who wants your help, needs your help, right? And you can actually help them, then it is now your job as a proper coach to help them. And let me tell you, if they don't move forward as a client with you, you're not helping them. You're not doing your job as a great coach, right? If you find someone that you can help who wants your help and you let them go, and then they go about their life and life gets in the way, they get busy and they never actually get the help, they never actually get to where they want to, you are letting them stay in pain, right? You as a coach are failing at your job, right? Now, if you come with that mind frame of, all right, cool, if I find someone I can help and they want the help, now it is my job to actually help them. And anything other than that, I am failing as a coach. I'm failing them. I'm letting them stay in a space of pain where they don't want to be. They've told me they don't want to be. Now, my final job, I've got two jobs. One, get them as a client, and two, change their life, right? Now, if you never get them as a client, you're never changing their life, right? If you get them as a client and you can't help them, then you're not a great coach, right? You're just selling people you can't help them. That's wrong. But if you can 100% help them, you need to turn them into a client. Otherwise, they get no help. They go nowhere. They stay in the pain, and you're not doing your job. So when you get to the end, and there's any objections around, let me think about it. I need to speak to this. I need to speak to that. As long as you approach it in a friendly, human way, because it's okay for people to check or think about or whatever it might be. That's totally fine, and it's human nature, right? But if you just accept that answer and just go, okay, cool, let me know, give me a call whenever you've made that decision, you're not doing your job. Most people who are in a position where they don't want to be and they've found this perfect fit, they've found you and they know they want you, Most people who don't solve their problem, it's because their inability, they have a lack of a skill to be able to make decisive, powerful decisions about the future, right? And it is your job as a coach to help them, right? Help them make that decision. There's a lot of people out there who, when they go to the restaurant, they're there and they're like, oh, should I get chicken or should I get fish? And they'll sit there, the waiter comes up, oh, can you give me 5 more minutes? And the waiter comes back, oh, can you give me 5 minutes? Which one do you recommend? They'll ask their partner, and then they'll place their order of the fish, and then they'll go, oh, actually, sorry, can I change it to the chicken? They don't have the skill to make a powerful decision about their future, right? And this is a very common thing. Now, as a coach, when you get to the end and you've helped someone and they say, oh, let me sleep on it, I always like to sleep on things, or let me get back to you in a week, it is your job to go, okay, totally fine, no problem, there's no pressure here. But let me ask you, like, what do you need to check specifically? And then they'll say X, Y, Z. And they might say, oh, I usually like to sleep on a decision. Okay, cool. So you're telling me tomorrow morning you'll have made your decision because you've slept on it. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. You can then book in the call for tomorrow morning, right? And say, all right, what I'm going to do, bring up my calendar right now. Let me book in the call. I'm free at 9 a.m. or I'm free at 10 a.m. Which one suits you best? And they'll say 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. You book it in, you speak to them, all right, you slept on it, all right, and now it is your job to go, okay, cool, you've slept on it, we've talked about this, time to make a decision, right? And it is your job to get them to choose either yes or no, a maybe, or let me think about it, or give me some more time, or let me check stuff. It's not a win for them, and it's not a win for you, right? Your job as a great coach is to help them make a decision, yes or no. It's not to force them to say yes, right? They have the total power to say no. But saying a maybe or let me think about it or let me get back to you in 7 days' time doesn't help them and it doesn't help you, right? Your goal is to get a yes or no answer because that sets them on their way. They don't mull about it anymore. They're happy about their decision. If it's a no, great, you move on, they move on, life is all good. And then they come back when they're ready. If it's a yes, you move forward, you change their life, right? So it's a yes or no decision is what you're looking for. Now, a lot of people will allow their prospects to kind of just leave it up in the air and go, oh, give me a week. You speak in a week. Oh, sorry, give me another week. I'll triple check, whatever it might be. Now, like I said, as a coach, your job is to help them make a decision, right? Yes or no. It's not to force them to say yes. That's wrong, right? Now, your job is to get them to help them make a decision. Now, if they need to speak to a partner or whatever it might be, I guess the point is, should you book in a follow-up call? You should not until you've figured out exactly what they need to check. Exactly. Not just, oh, I just need to think about it. You say, okay, cool. Then you can re-ask the question. So what specifically, not being pushy here, whatever, I just want to know because I don't want to follow you up. I don't want to chase you. I don't want to be annoying. What specifically do you need to think about? Or what specifically do you need to check? And then if they don't give you specifics, you ask again. And then as soon as you get the specifics, it might be, I just need to check what's in my bank account. I need to check my partner tonight. I need to sleep on it. As soon as you get a real answer, then you say, okay, cool. Well, now I know what you need to check, when you'll have checked that by, and then we can schedule a chat straight after that, right? Because there's no use if you say, oh, let's speak in a week, and all they need to do is check what they needed to check in an hour, right? And you haven't asked. But when you ask, they might say, oh, I just need to check what's in the bank account. I can do that in 30 minutes. I'm just around the corner from the bank, or I can log in online or whatever it might be. You can say, okay, cool. Well, I'll give you a call in 45 minutes. How's that sound? They're like, yeah, rock and roll. Now, most people won't ask these questions because they think they're being salesy. They think they're being pushy or whatever. But if you approach it in the way of being a great coach, right? And you'll never do any of these tactics to someone that you can't help because that's wrong. Or doesn't want your help, because that's wrong. But if you find someone who wants your help and you can help, your final step as a great coach is to get them to make a yes or no decision, and not push them to make a yes, but just get them to make a decision, right? And letting someone go and thinking about it, and they'll keep thinking about it, and they'll keep thinking about it. As I said, most people don't have the ability. They might be like, I really want to do this, and they sit on it and they think about it. They think about it at night, they wake up in the morning, they think about it all day the next day. That doesn't help them, right? So what you need to do, find out specifically what they need to check, right? Specifically, and just keep asking until you find it specifically what it is, when they'll be able to check that buy, right? And is that the final thing? And if they say, no, it's not the final thing, say, well, okay, what else? And then you can handle that until you get to the final thing. And then they check, you know exactly when they'll check. And that way you're not annoying them. You're not following up tomorrow when really they needed a week, or you're not following up in a week's time when really they only needed an hour, so on and so forth. So you actually don't become annoying, right? Which none of us want to do, and chase people up before they've had time to do whatever they need to do. It's a waste of your time. It's annoying on their end, right? And secondly, you're actually, for those people who actually don't have anything to check and they just lack the skill to make a powerful decision, you can uncover that and realize that. And some people might just go, oh, you know, I don't have to check anything, but I just, you know, I find these sorts of things scary. And then you, once again, you be a human. You'd be like, once again, being a good coach, I hear you loud and clear. These things, you know, making an investment in your health is scary. You know, what about it specifically is scary for you? Can I ask you? And they might say, oh, I don't know if you've helped people like me before. You say, okay, cool. If that's all it is, I can send you 2 or 3 testimonies of people just like you. You can check on it while we're still on the call right now, so on and so forth. You can go through those sorts of things. So it's very, very straightforward. As soon as you dig down and you actually approach it with curiosity and authenticity and ethics, right? It's not a sales call, and it's not sales, and it's not pushy, and you're not being intrusive. You're being curious once you've found someone that you can help and wants your help, right? That's the first 2 steps. All of these things come after, right? Now, way too many people let people go. They don't book in a follow-up call. They don't know when to do it. They just check in with them every single day for the next 3 months, and it just creates admin, gets annoying for the prospect, or alternatively, the prospect really wants to do it, but they just don't have that skill set to make a powerful decision on their own. And your job is to try and make them feel comfortable, right? Then they move forward and you change their life. And that's what being a great coach is about. So hopefully that makes sense. If you've got any questions on that whatsoever, if you need other tips or want other tips on how to close more leads that are a perfect fit for you, get more self-motivated, high-paying online clients, you can reach out to me, chris@tribefit.co, that's .co, or you can go to our website, www.tribefit.co, and you can shout out to me there and come back with any help you need whatsoever. So hopefully that helps. Next call, you have approached it in that format. We've talked about the mindset before jumping on the call, the 2 components you need to find before it comes to anything, even pitching what you do. Like if you can't help them or they don't want the help, you should just, you know, thank you for your time. It was amazing meeting you. Move on, because it's not your job to try and sell someone you can't help or who doesn't want your help, because that's just wrong. But once you do the mindset, how you approach it, you nail those 2 things. Everything after is just being friendly, being a human, and being curious, and truly wanting to help and putting it in that format. So hopefully that makes sense. Use that on your next calls, your next prospects, and you'll see how it is an absolute game changer. And you'll see that those prospects, you're like, I wish I got that client, I could have changed their life, and they slip through the cracks. They'll end up moving forward with you. You get more testimonials, you get more great clients, and people actually thank you for this. That's it from me. Bye for now.